In this video, I want to walk you through a campaign where we got 161,000 streams on Spotify in 6 weeks for an artist. So I'll show you the numbers right here. We're going to walk through them more in detail in the course of this video. The song came out on February 10th. I don't know when this video is going to go live, but it's about 6 weeks, basically. So 161,000 streams using Facebook ads, the main means of promotion. We're going to walk through the budget and the campaign setup. And the cool thing is, most of these actually came from expensive countries. So United States was the #1 country here, with 2,300 conversions, 2,000 Germany, 1,700 Canada, 1,600 Spain, France, Israel, UK, Australia, Switzerland, Panama. So not only was it expensive countries, but it was a lot of streams in a short period of time, and the campaign actually went really well. So before I show you the ad campaign, let's take a closer look at some of the Spotify for Artists data. So looking here, we have streams, listeners, streams per listener, saves, and playlist ads. But if we look at this graph down here, let me see if I can zoom in a tad. The campaign started roughly on February 17th. You can see this massive jump from like no streams a day up to 162, and then it just starts compounding day after day after day. And this is just 100% pure Facebook ads, just running, optimizing. The listeners that listened 5 days ago, like a certain percentage of them keep listening. So even for the same budget, you get kind of like a growth in listenership. But then eventually, when the song gets enough traction, it can get on Discover Weekly. And I've talked about this in a ton of other videos in the past, what kind of numbers are required. I'll link to one up in the corner if you want to see kind of what's typically expected to get on Discover Weekly. All of a sudden, this Monday comes, and we go from like 2,500 streams a day to 5,000 streams a day. And that's pushing throughout this week. And then, bam. This is like a picture-perfect scenario, right? It does really good on Discover Weekly this week. The next week, just bam. It does even better on Discover Weekly. Now we're getting 6,000 to 8,000 streams a day. And then, bam. The most recent one, 16,000 streams a day, and then kind of decaying throughout. So this is like a picture-perfect cookie-cutter example of what you're looking for to trigger Discover Weekly in the Spotify algorithm. So the saves, if we look here, we're going to see they're mostly kind of constant. They go up a little bit with some of these Discover Weekly spikes, but the Facebook ads are we have a constant budget throughout roughly, and you get the save data, and that stays constant. Every so often, Discover Weekly will push some saves, but playlisting, like even Discover Weekly, doesn't have as high of a save rate, and same with playlist ads. But still, we do see spikes when we look at this. So the data is fantastic. As I said, it's like a picture-perfect example, and the data on the other platforms also lines up. So let's go over to the source of streams. You can see here, if I zoom out a tad, these two categories are kind of just directly from the Facebook ads, right? So this is 48% of people are just pure from the ads. There was some third-party playlisting involved with this, apparently, 14%. And then there's 37% from algorithmic. So out of this 161,000 streams, a little over a third, so that's like 70,000 streams are from, I believe, mostly Discover Weekly. Yeah. But then also radio, which is actually pretty sizable. Release radar. And another kind of cool fact about this song is this is their only release. This is their first song. So not only was it a banging track, but it's their first song ever. And so other stats from this is like this artist had 0 monthly listeners prior to this, and now they have 56,000 monthly listeners and 86 followers. Now, the 86 follower thing isn't the best case scenario, but I can imagine why a lot of people aren't following is, one, could be a demographic thing. Two, could be because they only have one song, and there's not too much incentive for people to actually follow if it's one song. And also, a big chunk of these streams, I said like 71,000 from Discover Weekly, or I guess algorithmic, those generally don't generate as much followers. So that's one reason why I think this follower rate is actually a bit lower than what I would typically expect from ads, where usually you're getting 5 to 10% of your listeners will follow you on Spotify, but it varies a lot for genres. I've seen people have like a 15% follow rate, other people with a 2% follow rate. But one release, things get a little bit hairy. And so yeah, we went over the demographics. I'll just kind of show this so you can pause the screen if you want to take a bigger look at it. But the algorithmic push seemed to mostly be in Germany, which is cool. Sometimes it's US, sometimes it's Canada, sometimes it's Germany, UK, but Germany's a cool country. So yeah. Let's flip into the Facebook ads. So we started it on that 16th. We already saw that in the Spotify for Artist data, and it's been going at a pretty good pace. This is a high budget campaign, right? The person had a pretty good budget to run this. We have this good chunk of budget. And when we go to the setup, let's walk through how this campaign was ran. So it's a conversion campaign. It's spending a healthy budget now because they have the budget. And we have 5 different ad sets, and we have, depending on the different audiences, we have 2 or 3 ads inside of each. So if I back up out here and go into the ad sets here, we have a pretty nice set of cost per conversions. So we have anywhere from between 26 down to 20 cents a conversion. And most of it's going to this top gear deep house one. So did some interesting things in targeting here. It wasn't just artists and it wasn't just genres. We did some stacking where, and I'll walk you through this driving stuff one. Let's see, and by the way, the reason why we're getting iOS is because in this Hyped It page for this person, they didn't use a custom domain. So this kind of proves that the custom domain stuff is great, right? Because you want to target those iOS users. We'll learn more about the whole iOS 14 thing here. But you don't need to do it to get a good performing campaign. Like this campaign went quite well, cost per conversion wise and Spotify side, and they never set up the Hyped It. So yeah. By the way, if you want to get Hyped It, I do have an extended free trial in my description of this video if you want to sign up for Hyped It and give it a spin. So yeah, the cool thing with the targeting in this one, we did 20 to 55, Spotify narrowed by driving, narrowed by deep house, narrowed by a whole bunch of artists that we thought were similar to this song. So we had only ended up with like 1 to 1.2 million. And if you're wondering why I say we for this, is because I started a marketing agency. So if you want to hire me and my team to run your ad campaigns for you, you can do it. So head to the link in the description for Bid Media, for bidmedia.com, and you can fill out a form and apply for us to run your ads. Yeah, learn more on the page. But going back here, we were trying some different things, and you know, since it's not just me, we were kind of talking about what kind of targeting strategy we should take. And in the ads, we also had a kind of similar approach for this. We made the ads for this artist. We felt it was a driving song, and so what we did, driving. And we put some artists on the screen that the people might like. We'll zoom in a tad, and then it shows the artwork, and then it's bam, Gucci. And it worked quite well. We tested that across different parts of the song, and we had different types of segments that were being tested, tried a festival thing, and then we also had inside of here, you know, similar approach. We went for tighter audiences in expensive countries, narrowed by music festivals, narrowed by artists, Tomorrowland, narrowed by deep house. And so this is a little bit different from what I normally do. And the strategy that ends up working best for a particular song it's different for every song. That's just how it is. So you need to keep that in mind if you're trying to do this for yourself. Like it's not always better to have these much more focused niche audiences. Sometimes it makes more sense to have a much bigger, broader audience. But if you can really tie your song into like a cohesive niche, it can make a ton of sense to do that. Because like if those people are perfect fits for your song, it's going to be there. And also it can have the effect of reducing the competition. Because if you're targeting something that everyone else is targeting, then the competition goes up. So these are just some different strategies, ways you can do that. The driving one ended up being the best one, and we had 2 different splits, driving deep house artists and just driving deep house to kind of see what the difference was. And also, for those following at home, we forgot to use Instagram Explorer. Usually I would do, usually if you watch my previous videos, you see that I use Instagram Feed, Instagram Explorer, Instagram Stories, Instagram Reels, and then also I throw in some other Facebook placements. But depending on the project, sometimes it makes sense to just stick with Instagram. And for this song, we felt it made sense to stick with Instagram, and it obviously paid off. But depending on the song, we might expand it to more Facebook placements. We might tweak the countries a bit. But yeah, so if you want to learn more about how we can get some campaigns running for you, head to the link in the description for bidmedia.com. Get it for bid because it's bidding in an ad platform. I hope you get the joke. All you nerdy advertisers will get it. But yeah, hit the link in the description to apply. And if you want to learn more about how you can do Facebook ads yourself, you can check out this playlist right here. And then as well, if you know me at all, I have a course called Spotify Growth Machine that gives you access to a whole bunch of resources, an organized video course, my country targeting spreadsheet, and a community where you can go and ask questions and get some personalized help on the stuff. So anyways, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next video. Bye.